The cross is the believer's friend. And I want to talk about how it's actually the key in becoming something that cannot fall away. It's the key to perseverance. Here's James in James chapter 1, starting in verse 2. Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its perfect result, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. Note that James here says that the key to persevering is to count it all joy, your trials and crosses in this life, and that it will produce endurance. And that endurance will make you perfect, according to this. Perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. Listen to Peter in 1 Peter chapter 4. The cross is not simply a way for you to become perfect and complete, lacking in nothing, and the ability to endure. It is also giving you the power to quit sinning. Listen to Peter in 1 Peter 4, verse 1. Since therefore Christ suffered in the flesh, arm yourselves with the same way of thinking. For whoever has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. Whoever has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. What did Christ suffer with? The cross. What do you suffer with? Crosses. So it's to live the rest of the time in the flesh, no longer for human passions, but for the will of God. It says here in Romans chapter 8 that there's a way to live and die, and there's a way to die and live. It says in verse 13, if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, you will live. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are sons of God. You see, if you live in the flesh, if you avoid crosses, you will perish. But if you embrace the cross, that is putting to death the deeds of the body by the Spirit, you will live. And ultimately, what this accomplishes is the less of you there is, your flesh, the more of the Spirit there is, Christ's life in you. That means that there's less of you that can fall away. There's less of you that can deny Christ, because Christ can't deny himself. So if all that's left is the Spirit of God in you, the Spirit of Christ, then you can't fall away. It's apostasy-proofing yourself. And listen to this in Revelation chapter 3. If you get to a certain point like James describes, perfect and complete, lacking in nothing, this is the result. The one who conquers, I will grant him to sit with me on my throne, as I also conquered and sat down with my Father on his throne. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. This is apostasy-proofing your life. This is persevering to the end. It's called embracing the cross as your friend.